I don't want you to
We'll
feel, I don't
rip
want you
the
to
Band-Aid off.
I don't want you to hear how good my topic is and then feel
Bad. Right.
afterwards, kind of like I did last time
With Benjamin Harrison.
with Benjamin Harrison. Although I feel like
I don't think this will be as bad as Benjamin Harrison.
that was less of your topic before Benjamin Harrison was
Right.
like really amazing, so much as Benjamin Harrison was just quite bad.
This is more of a, I don't know which one to compare it to. It's not a magma situation. It could be construed as a Gregor McGregor level, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Okay. I think this is why this is what people listen to the show for.
Yeah,
This kind of thing.
it definitely
I leave it all in.
adds. Well, here we are, episode 8.
Here we are indeed. We've got some upgrades this week. You might hear them in your ears or not.
Or not, as the case may be.
We'll see. But we're trying some new things out. We're getting more official, probably much to our own demise.
Excellent.
This is Obscurigami, in case you were wondering.
In case you got lost and turned down the wrong street.
Yeah.
We're very hospitable here. We hope you'll stay and spend your tourism dollars with us.
You were probably looking for some other podcast that started with Obscura and
Right.
ended in something else and accidentally clicked on
Right.
the one titled Obscurigami.
That happens a lot,
Yeah.
so don't feel bad.
This is the podcast about obscure things. Assumedly, you were looking for some other podcast.
Yeah,
Not, about some other topic, but
Right.
similarly titled.
but I think you've discovered a gem here.
Yeah, an underrated, little-known gem.
You found a gem of quartz in a sea of diamonds.
And in that gem, I am Thomas.
And I am Ben, the gleam in the gem.
Oh, you're gonna be the gleam. I'll be the I don't know.
What's in a gem?
I'll be a facet. I don't know what the elements of a gem are. It's really
like-
just kind of the gem. Everything else is
What are the 5 C's that you're supposed to know? Color, carat, cut.
yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
I feel like some of those are K's.
I've never bought a diamond.
See, that's one of those things that, like, I feel like that would almost end up as a topic on this show. It's the kind of thing that I feel like should be a topic on this show,
Yeah.
but it's not because it's not obscure.
Just because it has that sort of quality to it.
History of diamonds as something that are basically BS is
Right.
something that is very intriguing to me.
Yeah.
But that is not the topic for today.
No. The topic for today is something much more valued than diamonds.
Oh.
Our topic today is cockroaches.
Wow.
Yes. Specifically, a cockroach called the Diploptera punctata, also known as the Pacific beetle cockroach. The Pacific beetle cockroach is not that special. It lives in the regions of the world. You can tell by its name around the Pacific. Australia, Myanmar, India, China, and Hawaii. It averages about 15 to 22 millimeters in length. It is widely used
Is that large? What is that in relation to normal cockroach sizes? 15 millimeters.
They're fairly large for a
That's like
cockroach. They're a pretty big
A
roach.
centimeter and a half? 15 millimeters? Why did we have to be born and raised American where we use
We are.
non-metric?
I know, it doesn't make sense.
There's part of me that really wants to like just learn to like think in metric,
Right.
but I feel like that would be so
That's just so much
pointless.
effort. So these roaches are a decent size, and they're used for a lot of research and whatnot. But what makes these roaches special, and what's garnered them a lot of attention from the media a few years back, is that they actually give birth to live young. Unlike most roaches that just lay their eggs and then go about their merry way.
Right.
These roaches the egg sac lodges in the uterus and gestates within the mother.
Wow.
And then the larvae are born alive, as opposed to hatching alive.
That is highly unique for a cockroach.
It is very unique for a cockroach. But what they discovered was that the mother actually produces a milk for these roaches
While they're
in the gestation period.
So
while they're still in the womb, there's a liquid that she secretes
right.
that enters the membrane of the larva, and the larva absorb it, and it gets transformed into protein crystals. So if you harvest these larvae and slit them open, there will be a stream of protein-rich crystals that are extremely valuable nutritionally. In fact, they have the highest ratio per size of any milk substance known to man.
Really?
Yes. They surpassed buffalo's milk, which was the previous winner for highest calorie, best milk.
When did they discover this? Is this like in a 19?
This has been in the past 20 years.
20 years. Okay.
Yeah.
So for a long time, buffalo milk was accepted.
Buffalo milk for a long time was king.
Yeah.
Buffalo milk was highest calorie, great protein, the best you could drink.
But now you have milk crystals.
But now you have these milk crystals that the cockroaches have created, and everybody's like, what do we do?
So is there an actual milk containing these protein crystals?
It has not been turned into milk yet. They are researching currently to make yeast.
Right.
Which I don't know how you make yeast from crystals, but that's kind of the direction that they're headed with it. Apparently it's very impractical to produce it for human consumption.
So saying milk, though, is maybe a tiny bit of a misnomer, at least by most people's understanding of the term milk.
Yeah, it's definitely not. I mean, it is a liquid in the form that the mother produces it.
Okay.
So.
But in its harvestable form.
But yeah, in the harvestable form, it's not technically milk.
Right. I'm still stuck on imagining baby cockroaches growing inside of larger mother cockroaches. Very disturbing imagery to me.
I'm not a person who's easily grossed out, but my skin crawled a little bit while I was researching this.
That's pretty nasty. I don't know why the thought of cockroaches laying eggs and then those eggs hatching is less gross. But
it is somehow.
So
I guess just the idea of getting into the nitty-gritty of a cockroach's reproductive organs is just kind of offsetting.
Already this is more than I ever hoped to discuss cockroaches. we're only
the Pacific beetle cockroach.
Only 10 minutes in. Just the Pacific beetle cockroach. Yeah.
Yes.
Most of you listeners are most likely going to be safe, and you probably only come in contact with normal, God-fearing, egg-laying cockroaches.
Not the perverts.
Yeah, none of these mutants.
There have been some individual who's part of the research team that did this claims to have tasted the crystals, and said that they didn't taste like much. Yeah. And according to the Washington Post, he lost a drinking competition, and that was the reason that he had to taste the crystals. Yeah, he didn't do it by choice.
That was going to be my next question. Is there any actual significance to this other than some scientists going, oh, look, we found a milk that's more, or is this used in any way?
Not yet, but I think it has a lot of potential just in terms of nutritional research.
Yeah.
Determining, hey, if they can do this, if they can produce this crystal, how can we find ways to create materials that are similarly dense in nutrients and in protein?
Do you know what the incident was that led to this discovery? Did somebody set out to study cockroach gestation, internal gestation, or?
I would imagine that's how it arose.
Okay.
I don't know the exact story of how it came to be. I do know that these particular roaches are used for research a lot.
Right.
Maybe because they do get up to 22 millimeters.
Right.
In size.
Yeah.
Or maybe because they're plentiful, and they are, obviously unusual. So
Yeah, it's just so many images in my mind of scientists, either because there's like two possible scenarios. Either A, you have a group of scientists that it's like, let's, study these are some odd cockroaches. Let's study whatever the, gestation milk nutrient passing mechanism that they have. Or you're just doing some unrelated research
And you just
stumbled upon these crystals of whatnot, and you're like going to your boss going, hey, I think I've stumbled upon something very significant here.
There's something strange in the larva. It's quite beautiful, actually. If you watch, there's a little
I don't know.
video on the Washington Post if you want to pull up the article real quick. And that'll be included in the show notes for all of you following at home.
In the news, heroic cat, kick murder, hot car death. This is awful. Okay, so what am I searching
Here,
for?
I'll just send it to you.
I really need to know what this hot car death.
Hot car death
Oh, that's not
in
fun.
December.
Evacuation warnings didn't save this Gatlinburg man from approaching wildfires. His cat did. Normally calm, Tiger appeared to be trying to get his owner's attention as he stared at the windows, pacing in front of the door, and rushed. He paced in front of the door and rushed back and forth between the door and his owner. I figured I might as well take out the trash and take a look to see if an animal like a raccoon might be making Tiger nervous, Berger told the newspaper. When I got across the lawn, I could see flames all over the mountains across my condo. Across from my condo, not across it. Case for cockroach milk, the next superfood.
The title of that article is somewhat sensational.
Yeah.
Given that nobody can actually really use this for food. You'd have to kill a lot of larvae.
Whoa, they're actual crystals.
They are crystals.
It looks like fool's gold.
What does it look like?
Fool's gold. Fool's gold.
Fool's gold. Fool's good. Yeah, that image is pretty spectacular, actually.
Yeah, there's just like...
It's a little larva.
Let me see if I can see it again.
And there's just a sprinkling of, it looks like gold dust.
Yeah.
Spewing out of the larva.
And
under a microscope.
It's disturbing because it actually looks pretty neat, and at this point you're like, that's a cockroach larva, and you feel very conflicted. The cockroach larva kind of deflates, or I guess it's protein crystals inside the cockroach embryo. So what you're seeing is kind of like a cockroach embryo,
right,
deflating.
Yeah.
And
looks, spewing out.
It's like a bag, and it just like...
One of the most nutritious substances in the universe spews out of it.
Yeah. Very weird. Very strange.
I do like the bit where it informs us that cockroaches don't have nibbles.
Oh, that's good to know, yeah.
Because I was worried about that.
Yeah, well, it does raise some questions. If you have this cockroach milk.
Right.
Quote unquote.
Alleged.
The standard delivery mechanism for most milk is generally some sort of nipple or teat sort of device, and cockroaches don't have those.
They do not.
It's sort of milk by osmosis type of a thing. It seems like.
It does seem that way. The big issue to it that they mentioned in the article and elsewhere in the other articles that are included in the show notes is that it's totally unmarketable,
right,
as a food substance.
Yeah.
Even if you were able to successfully harvest it and process it in a way that would be...
Nobody wants to eat a cockroach.
Nobody wants to eat cockroaches.
Much less, something that's spewed out of a cockroach embryo.
Except lizards.
Right.
Lizards, in fact, cockroaches are one of the most nutritious foods that you can get for a lizard.
It's good to know.
They're a recommended protein source.
Can you get this kind of cockroach, and then you have a...
I've never seen these cockroaches available for lizard purchase.
Well, I think that's their market right there.
Definitely.
They should.
But only the pregnant ones.
True, yeah. Business ideas.
Yes. Cockroach farming.
Yeah, if we haven't gotten to it yet, maybe you, if you're listening to this, should consider it.
I mean, if you're living at home with your parents and you're wondering what to do with your life,
you've got a moldy corner of the basement.
Yeah.
And you want to, grow some cockroaches. You won't have to deal with eggs. That's another upside of these.
Right. They don't just lay eggs and then leave
Right.
them. So you won't find random eggs everywhere.
Yeah.
The eggs are inside the females.
That's too bad though, because if they did lay eggs and
Yeah.
Assumedly the protein,
I guess to harvest them from the embryos, you have to kill the mother
right,
cockroach.
and extract the
presumably,
embryos
so
somehow or whatever.
You just have to keep supplying. I guess you have like breeders,
Yeah.
and then the fattened cattle.
Stuff is weird because to me
Stuff is weird.
Because
Stuff is so weird.
To me, I'm like the fact that there's people out there debating like, oh well, cockroach protein would be really great if we could just figure out a good way to extract it and harvest it. I'm like, I would have thought we just could like synthetically produce protein somehow, like,
Yeah.
in some kind of
I don't
way
know.
or something.
When I
but
was
guess that's
researching
not
that last episode I did on fatal familial insomnia, I learned that proteins are actually quite weird. So
yeah.
I guess they must be hard to synthesize.
Well, apparently, if it takes a South Pacific cockroach or whatever it's called to do that.
Cool. Well, now you know about
Now
the
you
Pacific
know
beetle cockroach.
The Pacific beetle cockroach.
And it's only
Why does-
quasi-obscure because
Why does it have beetle in its name?
it sort of resembles a beetle. If you want to pull up a picture of the roach itself.
Pacific Diploptera punctata.
That's the one. Originally discovered in 1822.
It's a very aesthetically pleasing cockroach. It's sort of cinematic cockroach.
Yeah, it's very cinematic. That's a good way to put it. If you were going to make a bug movie and you wanted to have someone to play the roach,
Yeah.
you might pick
You would probably cast
a Pacific beetle cockroach
These
in the lead
cockroaches.
role.
They just have that very iconic like cockroachian look
Yeah.
to them. They're not those skinny like
But they're not like a common lightweight cockroach either.
Right.
Like they're bigger boned and
This is not your peasant cockroach.
right.
These cockroaches produce crystalline milk.
They do. And they produce a toxin to ward off their enemies as well.
They're making milk. They're making toxins.
It's basically like a factory.
A little,
lots of little legs.
A little cockroach factory producing milk, producing toxins, producing other cockroaches.
It's like DuPont chemicals on
running
legs.
around, in your basement,
Uh-huh.
under your floorboards,
Uh-huh.
spitting out all kinds of. See, this is the future of. I think
Everything, really.
I think this is the future of manufacturing. If we can just get micro nano manufacturing happening
Right.
in sort of like organic, life forms that we make these sort of drones,
Right.
sort of robots that are like a cockroach, and we release them into the woods, and they go and they forage and they, eat and do stuff, and then they like poop out some sort of substance. Then we have some other beetle or whatever that's like picking that up and
Uh-huh.
like flying it back to somewhere else.
Heaven forbid we should pick it up ourselves.
Right. Well, the whole point is it's like an automated system.
Right.
And
Sorry.
And I think that's the future of manufacturing.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. I think in the future, we'll probably plant seeds in the ground, and it'll grow up into a plant of sorts, if you will,
Right.
that might be hard yet porous
Mm-hmm.
in its mature stages that we could cut into pieces and use in our manufacturing, say to make furniture
Yeah.
or things of that nature. But enough of this wild speculation.
I'm thinking about a future where humanity has just like enveloped the earth, and we need something that can turn are like live in our corners and our cracks and our walls and turn our crumbs and our dust into some sort of usable material.
Right.
And
A soylent green of some sort.
Yeah. And so you'd have these little beetles, and be a lot of ethical issues to overcome.
Yeah, but I mean, why not? We have the internet.
That's true.
Like, why can't we have mechanical cockroaches that poop out food for us?
So
Get on the phone to Elon Musk.
get on the phone.
We've got an idea.
I'm impressed with your research, because the Wikipedia article for this beetle, this bug, is astoundingly small.
Right.
So clearly you had to click a lot of links.
There are
you couldn't just read
slightly
one
more
page.
links in the show notes than there normally are for a topic that I research.
So
However, I did not
fun
find the answer
fact,
to the question from the audience.
this particular cockroach has had 3 previous Latin names. That
is correct.
It's known now as the Diploptera punctata, but it's been previously known as 3 different things I'm not gonna pronounce.
I also want to throw out another fun fact that I forgot to mention. There is a cockroach wikia for all of you cockroach enthusiasts out there who have not yet connected to that online community. You should go over there immediately.
That's very notable. That could probably have its own can't say the name of our own show. Obscurigami episode.
What is the name of our show anyway?
Obscurigami.
Oh, that's right. It only has about a dozen very small eggs enclosed in a membrane. And the larvae are quite large when born.
Diploptera punctata as a model for studying as a model for studying the endocrinology of arthropod reproduction and development.
What the hell does that mean?
I don't know. I'm reading the abstract.
Oh wait, which is this? The Christology Institute. One of the many reasons that this, or one of the main reasons that the roach is studied so much in research is because there's a lot of research being done into how to destroy cockroaches, because they have a classification as pests.
Wow, wow, bang, 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 bing, 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 bing.
In lieu of actual useful information, we'll just have Thomas sing you a song.
Bam, 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 bam. Cockroach is not good. Bad. Do not like them. Random Wikipedia article.
And now, listeners, it's time for that portion of the show where we access one of our favorite websites, Wikipedia.
So put on your headphones, lean back, and listen to Ben's crooning and my dulcet tones as we read a random Wikipedia article. Okay, we've got a good one.
Okay.
Pronunciation nightmare.
Oh boy.
Let's call in our pronunciation expert.
Welcome to the random Wikipedia article segment, also known as the cultural ignorance of Ben and Thomas segment.
Also known as Ben and Thomas mispronouncing things from other languages. This specific article looks like the article of a man. I'm assuming he has a beard.
He's Serbian.
His name appears to be Pavle
Mladenovic.
Mladenovic.
Mladenovic. Pavle Mladenovic.
Yeah, I think you nailed it there. That was.
Thank you.
Dear readers, time is running out in 2016. Oh, that's not the article.
You do realize there's a significant delay between when we record these and when we release them.
Well,
and you've just given away the secret to the whole thing.
That's people could be listening to this like 3 years from now, and it's probably. I feel like the Wikipedia.
You're like, since it's election season,
the Wikipedia fund drive is a pretty constant
It's pretty much a December thing.
Pavle was born in the village of Zachins, potentially, in a region
Potentially. There's questions?
at the time, part of the Ottoman Empire. He worked as a peasant in his village. We should say he was a Serbian Chetnik commander active in Macedonia during the Macedonian struggle.
When or what was the Macedonian struggle?
Clicking
This was during the Ottoman Empire,
loading
so
was a series of political, cultural, and military conflicts between the Greeks and Bulgarians in the region of the Ottoman Macedonia between 1893 and 1908. The conflict was part of a wider rebel war in which revolutionary organizations of Greeks, Bulgarians, and Serbs all fought over Macedonia.
this would have been close to the collapse of the Ottoman Empire, right? Because didn't they collapse
yes.
in or around the beginning of World War One? Let me rephrase that as a statement and be more confident about it. The Ottoman Empire collapsed on or around the beginning of World War One. So this would have been towards the end of their existence.
When the Internal Macedonian Revolutionary Organization, the IMRO, started assassinating and murdering people who identified as Serbs in the Komanovo region.
Which is where? In Serbia?
I'm assuming wherever our buddy Pavle was residing, because it says Pavle took his sons and nephews into the woods and joined the precursor to the Serbian Chetnik organization. He started guerrilla fighting in springtime 1903 as the first Serbian Vojvoda.
Just keep trying.
Before
all
the
different variations.
establishment of the Serbian Committee. Yeah, so it looks like he was some kind of battleman, did some guerrilla warfare.
Did he reach a pretty high rank in that organization? Was he a general equivalent, or was he... I guess, why is he remembered? Did he fight in some specific battle or have some specific deed of heroism? Or because there's a lot of red ink there at the bottom of the page of a lot of his comrades that aren't
not
blessed with a Wikipedia article.
Discern. He was a commander. He is in the commander section.
Gotcha.
So yes, but I cannot discern much more than that. Shortly thereafter, it says they were surrounded. Here, let's get to. Oh yes, in April 1905, he participated in the Battle of Selopek, along with a bunch of other commanders. During the battle, he took the Selopek height and prevented the encirclement of the Serbian bands from the Albanian Bashi Bozaks. So some great names. Shortly thereafter.
So what did he do exactly? He captured.
This is my guess based on what I just read. It sounds like they were being attacked at the Battle of Selopek, but he was able to take the high point of whatever that battlefield was that prevented them from being encircled. Somehow, sounds like it didn't really turn out that well either way, because it says shortly thereafter, he and Bastovic, one of the other commanders, were surrounded by the Ottoman army nearby, and everyone was killed.
Wow. So, is he kind of like the, I mean, this is obviously a flawed analogy, but could he be compared to or be described as the Serbian General Custer, that he's known for his last stand?
I can only assume...
We can only surmise.
...that Pavle is referred to as custard in Serbia, as a slang term for, people who don't want to say his full name.
That one was a doozy.
That is a doozy.
It's a doozy of a name.
This show is a doozy, Ben, and
But it's not the worst one we've recorded.
It's not.
Not by a long stretch.
It's not. I don't know what the worst one is because I haven't listened to a Benjamin Harrison episode yet. But
it can't be worse than the gas turbines in the caves of Belgium.
Yeah, I think we might have peaked with the Belgian caves.
I think that was our deepest valley. If you know anything about Pavle Mlakdonovich that we didn't talk about, or if you want to correct our pronunciation for any episode, please send us an email.
If you want to see a photo of Senor Pavle, check out the show notes. He's got a really funny looking hat and quite the garb.
And he's a hero.
And he died honorably in battle,
Protecting his native lands, only to have his name completely butchered by two Americans 100 years later.
On a podcast listened to by all of 10 people. So
God bless you, all 10 of you.
God bless. I wish you had something better to do.
I hope that while you listen to this show that you do something constructive. Like you listen to it while driving.
My hope.
Or while painting, or knitting, or drinking, or weaving.
Yes. Hopefully.
Baskets.
Hopefully you can use listening to this show as sort of a...
I hope it's a cathartic experience for you.
Yes. Yeah. You can go, at least I'm not doing that. I'm not recording the podcast. So on that wonderful downer... we already mentioned the show notes, obscurigami.com for
we did
all kinds of obscurigami. I can't say the show name tonight. Did you mention the email? I don't know. I wasn't listening.
I mentioned the email. I didn't mention the address. If you would go ahead and do that.
Oh yes. It is obscurigami@gmail.com or info@obscurigami.com. Whichever suits your fancy.
Whatever fancy
they both
you want.
go to the same place.
Which is the spam box.
Yeah, our inbox, which we don't check because we assume no one is listening to this. I don't know. The 2 episodes are out now, and
we could have listeners.
We could have listeners, and we could be like flooded with
feedback
in the email.
But we would never know because we haven't checked the email.
We'd just be like, nobody listens to our show. Yep, no feedback. I just checked. Our inbox is empty.
Okay, thank God. We're safe.
Dodged that bullet.
For a second, we weren't obscure anymore.